what were your thoughts on Druski's whiteface? Outstanding makeup job, by the way.
Yeah.
Would you ever do whiteface? What'd you think about it? And would you ever do whiteface?
No, it's not my style.
Yeah.
So I like to. That's his style, right? He likes to
Pranking.
He likes to recreate these scenarios. So yeah, he does his thing. I wouldn't do it because it's just I wouldn't be able to pull it off. It just ain't my thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it.
That's like
what did I think about it? I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He likes to recreate these things.
It's
I
kind of
think
it's edgy too.
artistically, I think people should be able. It's like with comedy, where it's a joke.
Yeah.
Why are we so serious? And then so people will say, okay, well then if a white person did blackface, then what?
Yeah.
I'm not educated enough in that conversation.
I am.
So you should probably speak to it. But I think that people should be able to do most things.
Don't worry.
If we're talking about comedy.
Yeah.
Right up my alley,
Because
buddy.
when you think about like also the power imbalance, the reason why maybe a white person can't do it is because you know the power. Yeah. You say black is inferior, and yet why are you putting it on your face? You're only doing it to make fun. When a black person puts on white on their face, black can't hurt a white person because they have the power.
Position.
So that's the whole point, is that doesn't hurt because they have power.
Yeah.
But because if you have power, you can hurt who doesn't have power.
Well, they're mad because he looked like one of them.
He did a good job.
And he was unrecognized. He was so good, and he played the role. Oh, hey, what's going on? He literally cosplayed, and he was great. He had the tan marks.
It was outstanding.
Was incredible.
The makeup artist should get an award.
See, now that's different. Now Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder played a black dude, killed it.
Yeah,
that wasn't blackface though.
But he got hell for it.
But the problem is because of blackface in the early 1900s with vaudeville, the cork, they would just make black people with red lips and big lips because they made fun of black people because they didn't like black folks. And then they made black comedians wear cork too. There was a guy by the name of Burt Williams. He was light skinned. He was the first black comedian to ever be recorded on film. He wanted to be like Charlie Chaplin, but he was lighter than you, and he had to wear blackface on. Because you got to understand, in the early days, and this is New York, it was illegal for black people to do stand-up by themselves. Monologues were illegal. You had to be in a comedy team. So me and you would have blackface going, well, Lord have mercy. You had to talk like that, and you had to wear shitty clothing. That was a law, you know? So that's why we say the blackface thing, we got mad at that because we're like, wait a minute. Because we're so used to white folks clowning us in a real degrading way. But when they said, oh, he's doing whiteface, that's just them deflecting on their bullshit, you know, because he literally looked like he was playing.
You couldn't tell him. I thought he looked like the old school wrestler, Hillbilly Jim. Hillbilly Jim.
And then there was Eddie Murphy, who acted like a white man in the 80s when he was on SNL. He played like he was a white guy. I mean, it was terrible makeup, but he was trying to play what would it be like to be a white guy. It's funny. It's still a funny skit.
Yeah.
So Druski did a great job. They're just mad because he pulled it off. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was fantastic.
I've always seen those things differently. Like, I respect the art. I respect the art of just, you know, this is somebody trying to, you know, make funny, right? Yeah. But then there's obviously the sensitivity and the power structure. I think for me, the reason why I got a problem with it is because I understand, like, one part of it is like when you do whiteface and you go, well, you can do whiteface because it's making fun of the quote unquote power. It's almost reinforcing in a weird way, like, oh, they are more powerful. And to me, I just have a problem with that because I'm
practically speaking,
philosophically, and I get it. It's not lost on me, but the mindset to me then is like, well, we're almost reinforcing that position. Like, this is the position. So like, I don't need to do that. And then the second part to that is that because of the history with it and the bad history with blackface, right? Then all of a sudden the whiteface feels like not a retaliation, but like, you can't do this, but we can do it, and it creates this division that
at what
allows.
Cost? I wouldn't do it either because
what's really the division when the division has already been caused by them?
It reinforces the division.
It's always been divided.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. So just because it's kind of like this, like I think about like this little. This is kind of off topic, but on topic. Like, I sometimes, as a husband, I will, you know, I'll do things and I'll forget. I will take the milk and I'll pour it in my cup, and the bottle's empty. and I put it back in the refrigerator. My bad. I just, I'm on to the next thing. My wife will get mad
and go, what the hell?
What is this?
Finish the whole thing.
And she'll sit it out on the counter, like, to prove a point.
Yeah.
And then I'm going, why would you put that back in the refrigerator when you could have just thrown it away, right? And then I pick it up and I put it back in the refrigerator.
I got a question.
And what we're doing is we're kind of just
this analogy stinks.
Okay, maybe it stinks, but you get the point.
You're
going back and forth.
He's such a good guy. And he goes, it's like when my wife takes the orange
with the milk.
No, I know blackface and orange juice has nothing to do with it. But the other day, I had some orange juice. I didn't finish the orange juice. She goes, is it Tropicana or Minute Maid? So let's get back to, I'm not letting you get away with that trash ass analogy.
Okay, maybe it was a bad.
What the hell was that?
Okay, I was trying my heart to follow.
Man, you were trying, you're like, it's practical, but I was like, when you stop, why didn't you just say, what is this nonsense?
Go ahead, give it to me. Give me what you were thinking. I want to hear the internal conversation. What was the internal? What was the internal conversation?
So you put out the milk, and she put it out, and then she put it back in, and then you put it back in, and then what happened now? Like we'll be here until like 4 o'clock today.
I'm sitting here like this. You know what? I'm so upset at this analogy. I said, listen, it's not the same thing. All right, no, but I like that he has his explanation.
I still want to hear what the point is.
Okay, the point is the back and forth has now made this thing a bigger issue. Right? The back and forth. You do blackface, I do whiteface. You do blackface, I respond, and it continues and it keeps it going rather than going. You know what? Look, this is trash. You need to stop. You need to stop putting empty bottles in the refrigerator. You need to stop trying to retaliate in such a way, and then stop it.
So do better next time. Basically?
Do better next time. Thank you.
I think people don't do whiteface, don't do blackface. Can we all just do the faces that we have?
If you can do it, and that he's an actor. That's what you do. You're playing a character.
But where do we draw the line? I was just saying because we already know the evil history.
Draw the line.
We know the evil history of blackface.
But we know the evil history of blackface. But they started it. They did it the wrong way.
Didn't Michelle Obama say, like, when they go low, you go high?
That's not
what about
bullshit.
like,
that's when they call her name. They were calling her name.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The idea.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So what about casting someone who is in something to play something, like maybe like an Asian actor to play?
Well, I can tell you this. There was a man by the name of David Carradine. He was in a series called Kung Fu. And it was Bruce Lee had written. It was called Way of the Warrior. They didn't let Bruce Lee do it because he was Asian. They didn't allow Asians to be leading men. So they took a white dude and slanted his eyes.
That's a problem.
It's not. This is him doing a skit. It's not like Druski auditioned for it. Druski did this. It's different with social media because you're doing something on your own. It's your own show. So he goes, I'm going to play. Druski plays rapper dudes. He plays all kinds of dudes. Yeah. The fact that he was able to play a hillbilly because he's fair-skinned, it was perfect. It was beautiful.
It's funny, but at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost?
I think I don't think there was a cost.
The cost is right.
Just because, but white folks getting mad at shit is normal.
But I mean, but
a lot of times they get oversensitive about everything.
But if a white person then says that, why are you getting sensitive? Obviously knowing that the history is there, but then saying, why are you getting sensitive? It's like, where do we stop? Like, if somebody gets, not you, but I'm just saying, in general.
Who's saying why we get sensitive? Who's asking the question?
If a white person like Robert Downey Jr. puts on a black face.
But
there were a lot of black people.
Because of the history.
I get the history, but I'm just saying, but the history is also associated with it just being downright wrong. And so if another white person feels that his portrayal, Druski's portrayal,
was great,
spitting in front of a black dude and just kind of reinforcing all of these negative stereotypes, like, to me, it's just like,
but that's what a lot of them do. A lot of them do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but does that help anything? Like, you made fun of it. Yes, that resolves what? It resolves nothing.
No, but sometimes you have to act and do what they do.
So it's
hopefully they'll learn. And
double
they'll
standard.
But what's great is they'll be like, I don't want to be that. That's not me. That's great. Yeah. Hopefully, because art is to teach people. Hopefully, you're supposed to imitate life in art. Comedy should be parallel to what the is going on. I think when I talk about Trump, I'll see Trump supporters walk out. they'll be like, he was funny, but then he started talking about Trump. Every politician is made fun of since the 1800s.
Right.
Every politician. And how the aren't you laughing at Trump? Because he's a clown.
Right.
Okay? He's doing a lot of real ignorant shit, but he's a funny guy. How am I not going to talk about this guy?
Right.
And I can imitate him? I do Trump with the hair and keep I don't do whiteface, but I'm just me.
I think the whiteface crosses the next line. I
don't think
blackface,
it's whiteface,
obviously,
but it's not whiteface. It's cosplaying because he didn't put white powder on his face and just start walking around with thin lips and shit.
But Robert Downey Jr. didn't do that. He had like the makeup that.
Right, and I approved of it.
But you approved of it. But there's a good.
But everybody's going to complain. A lot of people were like, "That shit was great."
I think people should just play the race that they are. Like they could have.
I agree with you.
Did we really need that Tropic Thunder story? I haven't seen that movie, but was it very necessary that movie was made?
I mean, it's a comedy. It's a comedy. So when comedies,
but at what cost? If it's gonna.
Eddie Murphy played an old Asian man, and was it Norbert or whatever? He played the old Chinese guy. It was unbelievable. I think to play another race and to look like that is fantastic. If you do it correctly, I think it's amazing.
There's just too much.
Now, if you're taking parts from people and they're using like we're gonna use Angelina Jolie gonna be Harriet Tubman. That's. But they were going to make Julia Roberts Harriet Tubman. They wanted her to play that, which is which is insane. But no, that's not fair.
Of course, she said no to that. Like, that was
but that's silly. Like, look, okay, when Zoe Saldana was supposed to play Nina Simone, they put like black. It was corny, and Zoe Saldana don't even like her blackness. So why is she playing someone who actually accepted her blackness? That was just dumb.
Then we start getting
trashing it anyway.
We start getting into the arts, right? But like to me, I think it's just like at some point you just got to go. Look, there's a lot of sensitivity around this, just like the sensitivity around obviously the N-word or whatever. Like just because because they're kids. Like I know, like I live in a community where there are like a lot of young white kids that be like, oh, I hear the rapper saying it's like no. No. There's
but the rappers didn't invent it.
I understand that, but I'm saying that there's a history.
They didn't invent it.
There's a history to it. There's a history of being.
But that's an irresponsibility on the rappers in their way. Of course, the N-word. Because I know comedians that they'll be like, nigga, and they'll do it in front of majority white audiences, and everyone's laughing at it. And I know my friend Akeem, a gay comic, black, he says it all the time. And then I have a joke where I go, when I say the R word, retarded, everyone gets offended. And they go, oh, and I go, but my friend just said the N word 1,000 times, y'all didn't flinch. But retarded, and I go, but if I said retarded, you say stop saying retarded.
Right. And that is so powerful. That is so powerful.
You're right. You see what I'm saying? You're mad at retarded, but you ain't doing the real work. How about the N-word? Which is like the top word. That's the top. N-word is the Nike of all racial slurs.
Right.
Everybody wants to say it. Even people that are discriminated against call us the N-word. Mexicans call us the N-word. Asians call us the N-words. Arabs call us the N-words, or they say it in their little language. But the other, you got chink, you got spick, you got that. No one really uses that. But the N-word, even Asians call each other the N-word because our culture, the Black American culture is so cool. We go, yo, my nigga, it's a crazy ass, psychology, the N-word. It's cool, but then they use it for vitriol when you're mad. When you bump into them, that's the first thing they go with. But then they'll go, my nigga, it's wild shit.
It feels like one of those things that like probably will never get resolved. You know what I mean?
No, we're never going to agree.
It's never going to, it's never going to get resolved.
And I know black people say, man, I'm not letting nobody let me not say the N-word. I'm like, no one's stopping you. But I'm saying morally,
I personally choose,
I don't really use it at all.
Not to use the words.
Yeah, I don't use
my
it.
parents, I never heard my parents use that word.
Me either.
I didn't grow up using that word, and I'm just like, and I feel some type of way because this is like, if I'm using it, then I'm only telling the other person that it's okay. And like these kids, young kids now, they're walking around, even with my kids, they're like, hey, can I get the pass? Can I get the N-word pass?
See, it's like no one says, can I get the C-word pass can I get the pass or the pass? No, it's always pass. Because it's the top. It's like, no one says, I want to see my chink. Hey, my chink. Hey, my spick. That's my spick right there. No one ever says, my Jew. I love my Jew. No one says that. But you know what I'm saying? But the N-word is like everybody focuses on the N-word. You look at the whole Palestinian situation.
Ooh.
I mean, it's horrible. It's very polarizing, but you got Afro-Palestinians that are being discriminated against by the lighter Palestinians. No one's talking about that. And they're being called the N-word in Palestine.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.